Okay, good morning, folks. How's everyone doing today? This is Manny the Magoo. It's approximately 7 a.m. on Tuesday, November the 17th. I'm excited to get started today. Looking forward to having a really good day. And what I wanted to do is just go over the watch list that I posted on Sunday night with you all, and a couple of other stocks that we're looking at right now. But let's dive right into this. First stock on our watch list was AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. As you can see here, this is a weekly chart on AMD. AMD did not do anything yesterday. It's still inside this previous week's high and low. If you've been watching my videos, as you know, I do like drawing my weekly, the previous week's high, the previous week's low, which are identified in red. And I also like drawing the monthly high and monthly low. You got to go to a monthly chart, okay, a monthly candle chart, and you will see the previous month's high and low is right here with this red candle, okay. So again, that's basically what I do, okay. I'm a price action trader, so that's how I do it. AMD didn't do anything yesterday. We had an outside day on AMD, okay. So as you can see, AMD was strong enough to break the high of Friday's high, which was $83.11. It was also weak enough to break the low, okay? So today, a lot of indecision on outside days. The bulls and bears are fighting each other. We have to figure out what's going to happen. The best thing to do is sit on your hands and wait for those breaks, okay? So as of right now, we have not traded AMD. We're still waiting. The next stock on our watch list is UPS. Okay, folks. So, going to a weekly chart on UPS, as you can see, we had one inside week here. An inside week means that the week wasn't strong enough to break the previous week's high, but it wasn't weak enough to break the previous week's low. So we have an inside week here, and that week was 11.2. We had another inside week of 11.9. I love playing the breaks on the inside weeks, okay? So what I did was I paid very close attention to this area, $168.22. And basically, if it broke 168.22, I had to try to take the trade. So this is what happened yesterday, okay? Let's go to a daily chart, all right? And as you can see, a lot of consolidation up in this area, okay? But let's go to a smaller term time frame. It's really going to show you what happened yesterday with AMD. So let me just zoom in here. This is just a 5-minute chart, folks. Okay? All right, now, AMD. This is the morning. It opened in the morning. It got to a low of $161.25. Now, obviously, I never thought in a million years it was going to run all the way to 168.22. So I kept it on the radar, but knowing that 168.22, if it did break 168.22, I'd probably put my order in a couple pennies above. I don't usually like putting it at the 168.22 because I've seen millions of times over that it hits that 168.22 to the penny and then pulls back down, okay? And we did take the trade. We took the trade, I believe, at 168.25 or 168.30, okay? It didn't run much at all. It got to 168.48. I put my stop pretty much a couple pennies below the 168.22, thinking it could bounce off 168.22 and then find the support there and then keep going, but it did not, so I got out. Again, it's the cost of doing business, folks. It doesn't have when a stock breaks, it doesn't mean that it's just going to go. The beautiful part about the way I trade is that 168.22, I've identified the resistance when the price is below the line, but I've also identified the support. So if it goes back inside and it breaks, I can quickly get out. It's not going to cost me a lot of money to see if UPS could run. Right now, it is up in pre-market. So, again, we don't know what's going to happen, but we do not have the position anymore in UPS as it stopped me out. Now, another thing, folks, I want you to pay attention to, because I pay attention to it, and it holds a lot of weight, okay? I'm going to show you something. This is a 1-year daily chart. So every day consists of a candle. Each candle consists of 1 day of activity. Now I have something here on the top left-hand side programmed from a friend of mine that shows the ATR. An ATR is the average trading range of a stock on a daily basis. So if you take a look at the ATR here, it reads $5.95. So on a daily basis, UPS moves either up or down an average of $5.95. So yesterday when I was going into the trade, I was actually, I had a call with one of my students. We were looking at this trade together. One thing I really didn't notice is that UPS was all the way down to 161 and a quarter. So if you take 161 and a quarter, okay, and let's just call it $6, you add $6 to it, 167.25 is already its full ATR. So it's moved its full position and the average position in 1 day, okay? Once it got up to this area, it can get very exhausted. It's tired of running, okay? Just like anything else. It's exhausted through the average trading range of about $6. So I should have, paid a little bit more close attention to that. But again, I am a price action trader, so I do play the break. But again, it's the cost of doing business. We got out, did not lose hardly any money at all. And we're going to keep an eye on UPS and see if it can break above that area again. Again, if it does, we're going to give it another try. Now, moving on to WorkHorse. Let's go to WorkHorse. Let's go to a weekly chart on WorkHorse. As you can see, this is the previous week's high of $20.79. Previous week's low was $16.52. Again, inside week, folks. Not there yet. So it's trying to get up there, but it still has room to run. Let's go to Apple. AAPL. Again, has not broken the high of 121.99. It is an inside week. A lot of indecision, consolidation maybe, to accumulate to go up, or distribution. Distributing to go down. We don't know. I just found out a little while ago that Warren Buffett did sell a little bit of his Apple. I'm not saying the company's going to fall apart because Warren Buffett just sells a little, but at the same time, he did sell a little Apple. So, people that follow Warren Buffett do pay attention to his trades. Obviously, he's a genius, but at the same time, Apple is Apple. We're going to wait to see if it can break this 121, call it 122 area. And if you take a look, folks, this is a daily chart on Apple. I want you to pay attention to one thing, okay? Apple has been putting in, since September 2nd, it's been putting in lower highs. What I mean by lower highs is, on 9/2, it got to as high as 137.98 before it failed, okay? Came back all the way back down here to the 9/21 candle. Then it moved all the way up again and made another high of 125.39. That's a lower high, okay? So what's happening is it's kind of changing the trend. So when you have higher highs and higher lows, the trend is to the upside. When you start putting in lower highs, the trend is changing. As you can see, it went to as high as 125.39, pulled back, and then made another lower high of 121.99, which was last week's high. So in order for Apple to get going, number one, it's got to break 122, period. If it doesn't break 122, it's not going anywhere. Next area of resistance on Apple after the break of 122 is going to be the 125.39 area. Okay? So that's what we do. You have to stay tactical when you trade. You have to identify spots of support. You have to identify spots of resistance. If you don't know how to do this, you have to learn. It's a must. It's the number one tool in trading. Until you do that, you can't trade. Okay? So, moving forward, let's go on. We're going to go on to Twitter. Okay, here we go. Twitter. Where are you, Twitter? Here we are. Twitter. All right, here we go, Twitter. So let's take a look at a weekly chart on Twitter. As you can see, it did absolutely nothing yet. Again, Twitter has to break 45.18 before it starts moving forward. And let's take a look at the daily chart. A lot of consolidation up in this area. But again, in order for it to go, it has to break this $45.18 range. So Twitter, again, we're not trading it until it does that. DraftKings, let's take a look at DraftKings. Again, DraftKings, the high last week. Let's go to the weekly chart. Here's the weekly candle. The weekly high was 45.50. Again, DraftKings did absolutely nothing yesterday. It tried putting in a run later on in the day, as you can see. But we'll see what happens today. I mean, until DraftKings breaks this 45.50 area, I'm sitting on my hands, not doing anything. Okay? So I've identified 45.50 as an area of resistance. If it breaks it, it will become support. But as of right now, we're just patiently waiting for DraftKings. Next on my list is Chewy. Let me show you something about Chewy. That's why it's extremely important to draw these lines, and I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so Chewy had a high of $65.20 last week, and we were waiting for the Chewy weekly break, okay? It didn't happen, but boy, did it get close. And I'm going to show you just how close, okay? Look at this, folks. This was yesterday. This was my line. $65.20. Look what Chewy got up to, $65.10 before it completely pulled back, okay? Folks, these lines are extremely important. Weekly highs and weekly lows are areas of resistance. They're areas of support. You have to pay attention to them. Okay? If you anticipated, so let's just say, for example, a lot of people in the morning, they were all excited when Chewy was putting in these big, huge 5-minute green bars, thinking that Chewy was just going to keep on running. Well, you cannot anticipate a move. You have to wait. You have to be patient. Okay? And if the move happens, then you take the trade. But at least you've identified the resistance area of 65.20. So if it breaks 65.20 and it keeps going, great. But if it breaks 65.20 and 65.20 then becomes support, okay? If it comes back inside 65.20, it breaks down 65.20, it's up to you when you want to get out. Me personally, I like to get out pretty much right away. The only reason I'm playing this is because of the break. So I expect it to move. And if it doesn't move, well, guess what? I just, I get out. It's pretty much that simple. The key to trading is preserving your capital. If you take a trade and it goes against you and you don't get out right away and you let it go down and get lower, well, you're eating up capital. That's all you're doing instead of looking for another trade. Okay, there's always another train at the station. If you miss one there's always another. So the market is a world of opportunity, okay? Now, one more that we're still in, good old NIO, okay? NIO did pull back yesterday, ran up towards the end of the day. People that are in NIO with me, that have been in NIO since the $21, $20 range back on October the 9th, congratulations. I am still in this trade, folks. It's done extremely well for me. I'm going to continue in the trade until it doesn't work anymore. But however, NIO today, after, I believe it's after the market closes. Let me just take a peek here at what my Thinkorswim says. Yes, earnings on 11/17 after market Central Standard Time. Okay, so after the market closes, NIO will report earnings. Obviously, that's going to affect the stock in one way or another. We don't know if it's going to go up. We don't know if it's going to go down. Okay, what I usually do, this is a little bit more advanced, during earnings, if I still want to hold, which I usually don't do, but I am up so much in NIO, I have taken some profit along the way, but at the same time, I still have my core position in it, long. What I do is I usually like to hedge. I will hedge with a put, an option. It's called a put. If you don't understand this, it's okay. You can comment. You can send me an email. I'll be more than happy to explain it to you. But what I'm doing is I'm hedging against my long position. Okay, just in case the earnings come out, it doesn't report great earnings. At least the put that I purchased is going to go up in value when the stock is going to go down in value. So it offsets it a bit, folks. Okay? Again, you always have to stay tactical when you trade. Okay? That's about it for now, folks. I hope that these videos are really helping. If you have any questions, if you have any stocks that you're looking at that you want me to analyze, please just comment on them. And if you could do me a big favor, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends, tell your family members if they're interested in learning price action trading with me. Folks, I have over 20 years of experience in this, and I'll be more than happy to help anyone. Okay? Happy trading. Have a safe day out there, and enjoy the day, folks. I will be back tomorrow morning to do another video. Have a great day.